welcome back. I am your SST teacher, Maya Gurani. So today we will discuss a new chapter of history. The name of the chapter is Ruling the Countryside. In this chapter we will discuss how the Britishers they got Diwani right and what are the techniques they used to increase their income. So before going to the detail of the chapter, let us know some of the topics that we are going to discuss in this chapter. The first topic is the company becomes the Diwan. Now after getting the Diwani right, they have the right to collect the revenue. So what are the problems they faced and why they were in need to improve the agriculture. Then we will discuss the need to improve the agriculture where they introduce the permanent settlement. So again, what are the problems they faced, these Britishers faced with the permanent settlement? Then a new system is devised. After that, the permanent settlement, the new system that was devised, that was Mehelwari in the northern area, the northern places. For the southern places, they were used the Munro system known as the Raiyatwari. So we will discuss the Mehelwari and the Raiyatwari here. And then we will discuss the crops for Europe. Why the demand for Indian indigo? And Britain turns to India. Why they turns to India? What are the things that attracted these Britain people to turns to India? How was indigo cultivated? The problem with Ninj cultivation, indigo on the land of riots, and also the last of that point that we'll discuss the Blue Rebellion and after. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss in this chapter. So now we will discuss the first topic, that is the company becomes the Diwan. The company becomes the Diwan. As we already discussed in our previous chapter that how the Britishers they got the Diwani right. After the Battle of Buxar in 1764, the Britishers, the Robert Clive, who was the Governor General of India, he defeated the three allies, the Mir Qasim, Shah Alam II, the Mughal Emperor, and the Nawab of Awadh, the Sirajuddaula, and it was ended in the Treaty of Allahabad. So on 12 August 1765, the Mughal ruler they had given the Diwani right to the Britishers, and now the Britishers they were known as the Diwan of Bengal and also known as the virtual rulers of three territories, Bengal, Bihar or Orissa. And the techniques they used, the policy they used, that was the diarchy system. What is this diarchy system? The dual government was introduced that time. The Britishers, they kept the Diwani right with them, and the ruler was still ruler. It was only for the namesake. The ruler was the puppet in the hand of the Britishers. Now the company, it has become the chief financial administrator. Its responsibility is to administering the territory and also the responsible for the revenue resources. And these Britishers, after 40 or 50 years living in India, they experienced a lot, they learned a lot that we are alien for this country, the people of the country. These people, they did not consider us as their supporter because we are alien to them. So what they did, it needed to pacify those who is in past had ruled the countryside. Now the Britishers, these company people, they thought that it is very much required, so these ruler should be in the country and they should rule the country because they could enjoy the authority and the prestige. Local power had to control but could not be entirely eliminated. Means local power had to control. A very few powers has given to a local ruler and the ruler was not entirely eliminated from the territory. It is because the Britishers now they knew that if they will eliminate the ruler, the Raja or the Jamidar properly, so these people will be against us. So there could be a riot. The revolt can be against us. Revenue for the company. The company who has become Diwan now has right to collect the revenue, and the Diwan, the responsibility of the Diwan was to administrate the territory and also to create more revenue resources. But the company people, they were not carrying that responsibility because they themselves call that they are the traders only. They have come to India for the trading purpose and their main focus was to large revenue income. That's why they become the Diwan. And why they want the revenue income, large revenue income? It is because to buy silk and cotton from here, from India. 1865, in that time, as these Britishers, they bought the gold and silver in India, they imported gold and silver in India. So the Bengal was very prosperous at that time because the gold and silver they are getting. Bengal economy faced crisis. When these Britishers, what they were doing? As in 1865, they were importing the gold and silver. But after getting the Diwani right, they stopped bringing the gold and silver in India. Now what they were doing? They were collecting the revenue from the India only. And they were taking the gold, the silk and cotton in a very cheap prices. So the Bengal economy faced crisis. Artisans who are asked to sell their product in a very cheap prices, and as they were not paying the proper amount to the artisans, so what they started, they were deserting from their place to somewhere else. They were asking to sell their product in a very cheap prices. As these Britishers, they did not pay the full amount to the artisans. The peasants, they were asked to pay the taxes as they were unable to pay the taxes that the Britishers were demanded. What happened? That the artisan production was declined. Agriculture cultivation collapsed. It is because the peasant, they have to give a lot of tax to the Britishers. So in 1770, the treble famine took place. In this famine, the 10 million people, means 1 crore people, they were dead. And these people were 1/3 of population of the Bengal.
Revenue for the company. The effort was to increase the revenue as much as it could and buy fine cotton, silk, cloth as cheaply as possible. Soon it was clear that Bengal economy was facing a deep crisis. Artisans were deserting villages since they were forced to sell their goods to the company at low prices. The first Governor General of Bengal, Warren Hastings, put an end to the dual government system and decided to auction revenue collection rights. A board of revenue was set up to look into the revenue administration. British collectors were appointed in all districts and the land was given to the person who would collect the highest amount of revenue from an area. However, this system did not yield the expected results as the revenue collected was not enough for the British. Here we will discuss about the agrarian policy of the British, which brought about the downfall of the Indian economy. Now the company began to feel that there is a need to improve agriculture. Most of the company officials felt that investment in agriculture had to be encouraged and agriculture had to be improved. Company finally introduced permanent settlement in 1793. By the term of settlement, Rajas and the Talukdars were recognized as Jamidar. Now they were asked to collect rent from the peasants and pay revenue to the company. Regular flow of revenue to company. Since the revenue demand the company did not increase, Jamidars did not benefit from the increased production of the land. What is permanent settlement? The permanent settlement is also known as the sunset law, as the payment had to be made by sunset on the due date. 89% of the rent was given to the company and 11% was retained by the Jamidars. So, what are the features of the permanent settlements or Jamidari system? Tax was collected by the Jamidars. Jamidar was the owner of the land. He had the power to collect tax. Farmers became the tenants to pay up to 60% of the yield as tax. Even at the time of poor yield, tax was to be paid. Tax to be paid in cash. That's all for today. See you in the next video with the rest of the chapter.